parents and church leaders who have poured much effort and prayer into young lives to hear. In fact, parents' descriptions of the "you lost me" phenomenon are also eerily similar. An earnest mom, Pam, stopped me after a conference. Her question: what should she do about her engineering student son, who, after being a committed Christ follower for many years, was now having significant doubts about the relevance and rationale of Christianity? I had lunch with another Christian parent who was at the point of tears because his 19-year-old son had announced that he did not want anything to do with his parents' faith. "David, I can't explain the loss we feel about him. I am hopeful that he will return to faith because I see how good and generous he is. But it's so difficult for his mother and me, and I can barely stand the way his negative choices are affecting our younger kids. It's all I can do not to ask him to leave our home." The struggles of young Christians. If you read my previous book, UnChristian, written with Gabe Lyons, you may wonder where this new project fits with that research. UnChristian looks at the reasons young non-Christians reject the Christian faith and explores the changing reputation of Christians, especially evangelicals, in our society. That book focuses on the perceptions and priorities of young non-Christians, or outsiders as we called them. You Lost Me, on the other hand, is about young insiders. At its heart are the irreverent, blunt, and often painful personal stories of young Christians, or young adults who once thought of themselves as Christians, who have left the church and sometimes the faith. The book's title is inspired by their voice and mindset, and reflects their disdain for one-sided communication, disconnect from formulaic faith, and discomfort with apologetics that seem disconnected from the real world. You Lost Me is about their perceptions of churches, Christianity, and culture. It gives voice to their concerns, hopes, delusions, frustrations, and disappointments. A generation of young Christians believes that the churches in which they were raised are not safe and hospitable places to express doubts. Many feel that they have been offered slick or half-baked answers to their thorny, honest questions, and they're rejecting the talking heads and talking points they see among the older generations. You Lost Me signals their judgment that the institutional church has failed them. Whether or not that conclusion is fair, it is true that the Christian community does not well understand the new and not-so-new concerns, struggles, and mindsets of young dropouts. And I hope that You Lost Me will help to bridge this gap. Because of my age, 37, and my position as a researcher, I am often asked to explain young people to older generations and advocate for their concerns. I welcome the task because, whatever their shortcomings, I believe in the next generation. I think they are important, and not just because of the cliché, young people are the leaders of tomorrow. The story, the great struggle of this emerging generation, is learning how to live faithfully in a new context, to be in the world but not of the world. This phrase, "in but not of the world," comes from Jesus' prayer for his followers, recorded in John chapter 17. For the next generation, the lines between right and wrong, between truth and error, between Christian influence and cultural accommodation, are increasingly blurred. While these are certainly challenges for every generation, this cultural moment is at once a singular opportunity and a unique threat to the spiritual formation of tomorrow's church. Many young adults are living out the tension of in but not of in ways that ought to be corrected or applauded, yet instead are often criticized or rejected. In the vibrant and volatile story of the next generation, a new spiritual narrative is bubbling up. Through the lens of this project, I have come to understand and agree with some, though not all, of their grievances. Yes, we should be concerned about some of the attitudes and behaviors we encounter in the next generation of Christians. Yet I also find reasons to hope in the best of what they have to offer. Apparently, they are a generation prepared to be not merely hearers of doctrine, but doers of faith.